Do you know how powerful using OPM can really be in your business? And you might ask, what is OPM? So stay tuned and I'll explain it all. Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Graylan Stewart. Thanks for joining me today. I am a virtual wholesaler and real estate entrepreneur. We buy and sell properties all over the United States. Our main strategy, as you'll learn on my channel if you're new, is wholesaling real estate or wholesaling houses or flipping paper, whatever you want to call it. We wholesale houses all over the country, and that's our number one strategy because it's a little bit easier as far as not having to use your own credit, your own money, no real risk in it, and that kind of thing. So we like that because it's like an ATM when you need cash, wholesale a house. Okay. We also do fix and flips and buy and hold rentals for long-term wealth. Okay. So today's video is about OPM. That stands for other people's money. Now, the power of OPM is huge. If you really think about it, you can do unlimited deals if you just get the money to do them, right? And I'm not talking about wholesaling because you don't really need your own money to wholesale, except for maybe a little bit of marketing money. And along the way, you'll want systems and processes. But starting out, you can wholesale with no money. But I'm talking about if you want to keep a house for long-term wealth, you need money for that. You got to be able to close on it, pay the closing costs and attorney fees or title fees, potential repairs that need to be done on the property. And that kind of thing. So when you're using other people's money, things just get a lot easier. But it's also important, like if you can use OPM for your fix and flips, that's awesome too. So I'm literally talking about being into deals for zero out of your own pocket. So that's my goal on every deal that I actually close on. It doesn't always happen, but that's always my goal. Sometimes it is faster to use my own cash, so I'll do that occasionally. Or sometimes, a hard money lender is faster and quicker too. But if you have private money lenders lined up, then that makes life a whole lot easier. And they're not as hard as you would think to get. All you have to do is just talk about what you do to friends and family or just people you come in contact with, acquaintances or whatever. There's more money out there than you realize. And most people don't have time to be a real estate investor or to take part in, fixing and flipping a house or anything like that. But they do have extra money laying around that they're typically probably not making anything on, especially if it's in the bank. You pretty much are almost losing money these days in a bank. It's just sitting there, getting devalued every day since our government just prints money all the time. But, as far as getting money, it's not super difficult. You just have to put yourself out there and ask. Because there's a lot of people that would love to get, 7 to 10% returns on their money because the stock market, is up and down so often. It's basically like gambling unless you are a professional and you do that for a living, and it's just like gambling. And then obviously just money sitting around doesn't really gain anything either. So people are excited when you give them the opportunity to actually take part in a real estate transaction. So it almost makes them feel like they're a real estate investor through you almost. But really what it amounts to is you can negotiate your own terms with private money lenders because whatever that term is, if it's higher than 5%, it's probably better than they're getting anyway. But I always like to make it a little bit better just so they're more apt to give me a loan. I never do points up front at all. Hard money has points, but private money never ever. And typically less than double-digit returns. On private money, usually like a 10% is pretty much the max I would ever do. But I typically can get 5 to 7% pretty easily. You just kind of present it that way, and that's kind of like how it's done. And that's usually what they accept because that's what you offer. And you'll get to realize that it's a lot of times whatever you are kind of suggesting is a lot of times what people end up doing because that's what they think is normal. So it's just like when you're talking to sellers, you offer 50,000, like that's a normal price. It's not so bad when you settle on 60, if the house is worth 100. They feel like they want a little bit. Same thing with private money. You ask for 5, maybe you settle on 6 or 7. It's not that bad. But the point of all of this is using private money can allow you to do many, many more deals. Because that's one of my goals that I've said in other videos for this entire year of 2022. One of my main kind of goals in my business is to raise more private money. And what I mean by raise it, it doesn't necessarily mean, get people to agree to it and put it in my bank. No, I never do that. The private money that I raise is always backed by discounted real estate. So their money is virtually super safe. There's no risk in it at all. I mean, there is risk in everything, but very little risk. So when I'm talking about, getting private money, I'm talking about it's backed by discounted real estate, and the money is always handled through the title company. So it never actually touches my hands. So this gives, private money lenders peace of mind that, it's all going through a third party. So it protects both of us. And also that it is backed by a first mortgage that they have and hold on the property. And that property is always discounted. So worst case scenario, if I ever defaulted on the property, let's just use $100,000 for an example because it's easy math. $100,000 house, and I get it for 50. Maybe it needs 20,000 in repairs. So when it's all fixed up, it's worth 100, but I'm only in it for 70. So a private money lender will give me 50,000 pretty much any time, because if I did happen to default as a worst case scenario, they can sell that property the next day for probably 60 or 70 and still make money on what they loaned. So they actually probably would do better by actually me defaulting, but I would never ever let that happen. Obviously, if I was in a bind, I could just sell it the next day for that same 60 or 70 and then cash them out, make a little money. And that's virtually what wholesaling is. But, if I wanted to fix and flip it myself to make a bigger payday, then that's what I would do. But buy and hold, is truly the real path to wealth, because, fixing and flipping and wholesaling at the end of the day is just a huge income job, unless you have a team built out. But nevertheless, it's still just huge active income that you're highly taxed on. So you have to have those rental properties to kind of offset those taxes. That's why typically, if you do it right, you don't end up really paying taxes if you buy a lot of rentals, because you're only making $300 or $400 cash flow in most cases, and usually you depreciate more than that, and you just end up zeroing out your taxes. And I'm not a tax professional. I don't know a ton about it, nor do I want to. I'm a real estate investor, and that's really what I care about. I have a tax accountant and a bookkeeper that handles all that stuff, so I don't even have to know it. Just like every other part of my business. Yes, obviously the ins and outs of my wholesaling business, I know every single part of that inside and out, because that's how I was able to train the ones that I hire. But those other things that don't really matter, I don't really care. Just like being a contractor, I wouldn't have a clue how to truly build a house from the ground up like a lot of my contractors know how, nor do I care, because that's not my skill set, and I don't want that to be my skill set. My skill set is running the company and sales, marketing, that kind of thing. But that was a little rabbit that I was chasing. But the point is, OPM is super powerful, and I don't care if it's the bank's money, which is awesome, private money, or hard money. All of those are other people's money. So that's the whole point of this video. Using other people's money. The power of that is bigger than you can ever imagine, because you can virtually do unlimited deals and make unlimited money. I mean, that's what's cool about real estate investing. It's literally a glass ceiling. You can bust through that easily and make whatever you want to make. Some people are happy making, 10 or 20,000 a month. That's great. Some people are happy making 200 grand a month. Some people want to make more, 1 million or more than that per month. That's what's cool about it. There is no cap in what we do. You just got to be willing to work and make it happen. So that's my goal, is to raise more private money. Hopefully that's your goal too, because if you're just wholesaling, that's awesome, but you got to start taking properties down so you can really start getting bigger paydays. But not only that, buy them to keep, because that's really what increases your net worth, because you always have equity still left in the house, and it's going to appreciate over time. Even in an up and down market, it's still gradually going up over time. So the house is always going to appreciate. So your net worth goes up every single day because every day you've got someone else paying off your mortgage. And you've got that residual income, that mailbox money coming in month after month, year after year for the rest of your life. That's why I believe in just keeping that property as long as you can, forever if possible. I would only sell properties if I just needed cash. That's really the only reason to ever sell a property that you have, as a long-term hold, in my opinion. Or you're just cashing out all of your single families and doing a 1031 exchange into like a big multifamily. That makes sense. But other than that, why would you ever just kind of cut that off unless you just need a lot of cash, like I said. So anyways, the point of this video is OPM. Use other people's money so you can grow your business and you can scale quicker. You can do a lot more when you have other people's money on the table. So anyways, hopefully this video was valuable. Please like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you guys on the next one.